Hello, welcome along everybody. In this session here, we're going to be using the MigrationWiz product to migrate some SharePoint data. We're going to be moving a SharePoint library from one M365 tenant into another. I'm going to show you that completely end-to-end, what we need to do with the source and the destination in terms of the prereqs and the setup. And then I'm going to move into the MigrationWiz console itself. We'll create that project and we're going to actually do the move and let you see everything as it happens. So let's jump straight in. I'm going to show you the source environment first of all. And if I just bring that up here, you'll see on the Cozy Mouse tenant, I've got an IT data share site. As you can see, is about 5.5 gig in size. Really, the main content of that is there's a lot of documents. As you can see here, if I look at the Documents tab, you'll see I've got some items here. It's all just fictitious data, but you can see it's laid out like a normal SharePoint site would be. If we look at you can see clients, it's got a bit of music in there, some documents, picture files, that sort of thing. But what we want to do is take this whole document library and move it across to another tenant, which is on this view here. As you can see, it's not created in here. I want to have that into this one, which is different with that planium.com tenant that we use in our testing. So really what we need to do first of all, though, before we go ahead and actually do any of these other prereqs, one of the main things we need to do is we will create the site that we want to put the document library into in this target environment first. So to do that, I'm just in the active sites here. I just hit create. And when I come up here, that will just be, we'll call this one a team site. And we're just going to use a standard team. I'm not going to put any particular templates on that. We'll just use the basic one. And we'll call this one IT Data Share. And you can see there, IT Data Share. Now that name, you'll notice, is going to be slightly different to what the source is. Obviously, we don't have to have exactly the same like for like. I'm just going to call this one IT Data Share. And the group owner for that one, I will actually just give the group ownership to the MigrateWiz service account. That's only, I just need to apply a group owner obviously into that. So we'll just hit next there, let that go ahead and create. That's okay with those settings, create site. I'm not going to add any members in just yet. It will do permission structures across from one side to the other, providing the names are the same and the groups are the same that have been set up. Not worried about the UPN suffix on that. As long as the names are correct as the prefix, it will match those and it will bring over those permissions for you. So just hit finish there, and you can see there, now we have IT Data Share, and you can see there's obviously nothing in there, clearly because it's just been created, and our documents area will be obviously blank. So I'll refer back to this documentation here that's in the BitTitan Help Center. And what it's going to be telling us here, if we look at these prereqs, what we're looking for in this section here is the details around the permissions needed, whether they're going to be app-based or the delegated authentication. So you can see here we've got two options in the source for what we need to do. We can either have delegated authentication, which is where we assign it to a particular user, and we can either make someone a global admin, or we can give them SharePoint admin and give them rights to the SharePoint site that way. But we need to obviously do a bit more work on that one. We're going to be assigning those admin roles and the permission requirements, and then we need to run the SharePoint delegated consent application there. What I'm going to choose to do on this migration though is I'm going to use the app-based authentication, which you can see does require us to do the SharePoint full control as the consent in the source. And obviously we need to create the MigrationWiz security group. We need to put a user in there. That user is must have a SharePoint license attached. It doesn't actually have to have any rights in the SharePoint sites themselves, because obviously the full control takes that. It just needs a user to connect with into the back end of the SharePoint environment. And this is why I prefer this one, is because it really just gives a bit more control over things. We do need to put in that application permission is one of the advanced options. But you can see this is really the core setup that needs to be done there. So let's do that on the Cozy Mouse, our source environment. You can see I've got a user here, which is the MigrateWiz, which is the service account we use. And as you can see, that doesn't have any admin rights in there, but it does have a license to be able to use the product. So obviously that's important. But what we also need to do there is we need to have a look at our active groups and have a security group. I think I've already got one set up in here, just called MigrationWiz. And there we are, there you can see. So you need to create one of those. And as long as you've got the membership of that, it needs to be a member. You can see there's our MigrateWiz at cozymouse.com. There's our service account. It can't be an owner of the group. It has to be an actual member of the group. So obviously that's what we need to do for the source side, for the username and the group. But we also do need to run that consent as well. So we'll jump back to our documentation there. and you'll find this guy here. Now it's useful just to right click on this and just do the copy the link address, and then we'll go back to our Cozy Mouse tenant here, and we'll just start a new one here and paste and go. And you can see that's asking us to log in with a global admin account to apply those consents. So we'll do that with the admin account there, which is already authenticated. And you can see here there's our SharePoint full control, which is what it's going to be doing. So we say accept there. It should just drop us back to the main BitTitan screen once that's successful, which it is. There we go. So that's good to go there. Now also permissioning wise, we'll have a look at this IT share site. This is on the source side. I look at the membership there, and you can see that site admin, we do have that MigrationWiz service account set as a site admin on that side. And also if I look at so when you saw me setting that up, you saw that I added the MigrationWiz Planium.com, which is the service account on the target side. That's also a site owner for this data share as well. So again, I will take that full control. I will do the copy link address, drop that down, and now the target environment, I will do the same thing. Let's just put that in, paste and go. There we are. And as you select the user to log into, there's our rights again, accept those. And again, it'll go back to the front screen if that is successful, which it is. Close that out, and we can carry on now. So we'll now go and log into MigrationWiz, and you can see I've done that, and we are going to create a new project, which will be this one here, the document project. As we jump in there, we'll give it a name and give it a customer as well. So you can see I'm putting demo SPO migration for that Cozy Mouse client and next step. And this is where we get to define the source and the destination endpoints for these two. So we're going to say new here, and we'll give it a name, which will be, we'll just call this one Cozy Mouse SPO, and the endpoint type is going to be a SharePoint. And the URL for that is going to be, it's not the admin center that you need to connect to. It's going to be the base SharePoint.com site, which is, in this case for the source, is going to be cozymouse.sharepoint.com, and also that service account which we created with the appropriate password too. And we just hit add there, and it will go in to this point. And thank you. And we'll go to our next step once it accepts that, and which is our destination side. So the same way, we just hit new endpoint there, and we'll call this one, the Planium SPO. The endpoint type is going to be SharePoint Online. Notice there's a slight difference in that we have to specify that it's SharePoint Online it's going to. And this will be the tenant. And you can see here it's telling us we need to put in DPS, and that will be tcg e5demo.sharepoint.com, along with the correct username and password there for that service account which we created, like so. And we're going to use the Microsoft provided Azure storage. You can create your own Azure storage and use it that way if you want to do the custom settings, but in this particular migration I'm just going to use the Microsoft provided Azure storage and hit add. I'll drop that in, and we'll say no there, and go and save that. Go to our summary page. Now when we do the save project, I will do that in a second, but I do want to go into the advanced options and make a couple of amendments in here, because looking at the documentation here, you can see if we are using application permissions instead of the delegated permissions, we need to then take this line here, use application permission equals 1, which we'll go and copy that and put that, as you can see, into our support options there. And we then hit validate, make sure they're happy with those. There we are, good, and hit save on that. There we go. That's important, obviously, for it determines how it's going to be connecting to the SharePoint backend. So it's important there. Now, if you've only used the application authentication there at either the source or the destination, you would say use application permission for source, and then obviously the destination. And that's all in those documentation that I've been through as well. But if we're going to do it on both, it's just going to be that one single line which we need to put in. So we'll go ahead and save that project now. And you can see that drops us into our main screen where we can start adding some information in there. And because we're using the the application rights and we've given it the full control there, what I can do is hit auto discover, and that will go into the source and it will automatically go and find every site that it can see there. Now, if we had hundreds and hundreds, and we don't want obviously that to take too long to go through, and we know what the URLs are, you can just go and do a quick add and add them in manually. In this example though, I'm going to hit the start auto discover, and you should see all of the sites that are available in the Cozy Mouse tenant will drop into that and then show up as being available for migration. So we'll let that discover. I'll come back in a few minutes when that's done and show you what it looks like. Okay, so that's completed. It's found 29 items, which is good to see. Now if we hit the import items button here, it will bring those all into the MigrationWiz project. As you can see there, we have everything laid out nicely, which is obviously very good. What we're looking for here is that IT data share. If we go through down the bottom here, we should find that one there, and there we go. It'll be these guys down here. You can see there's our IT data share with the documents, so I will then tag that one. But you can see, remember how when we set up that site, it was actually a different name we used. We didn't use it as quite exactly the same. Now this is creating the destination paths effectively if you were doing a like for like copy, so it assumes that you might want to have the names the same. But if not, and in this case this was important that I did this, you can go and change that to suit what it actually is, and you do that with this little edit button on the right hand side here, and that's really where you just go in and change the name. And looking back at the target tenant just to check what it is, you can see it's just IT data share is the one we're using. So let me just drop that away there, and it's just going to be IT data share without the word site on the end. So we'll hit that and hit save, and you can see that will make that change in there for us, and there it is there. So with that all done, we're actually ready to do a first pass of this migration and get that across. Before we start that though, I'm going to tag that one, and we're going to hit the verify credentials, which we'd always do in a MigrationWiz project, just to make sure that all the linkages are set up, that the rights are correct, and it can see everything, and it's happy to do that work. So we hit the verify credentials, hit OK there, and you can see that if we go down again, you'll see it now goes into a submitted stage. This is where we just now need to hold fire and wait for that to do what it needs to do. And hopefully that's going to come back and say that the verification is complete and successful. So once again, we'll come back in a few minutes and see what it looks like there. Now, I also want to just touch on a point here about what is migrated and what is not, and they'll talk about these group permissions that come over as well. So in these type of migrations, you can see what items are migrated. In this help desk article, we drop that down. You can see here's the list of everything, and you can see it's basically the document libraries, the documents themselves, and the structure and the permission. Importantly, make a note of this one as well. If it's over 15 gig being migrated, you need to put these two items inside the advanced options as well as. But what I want to look at is what my items are not migrated. This migration tool is predominantly for these document libraries and the data that's there. As you'll notice, it doesn't copy the actual site or site collection with site logos and things. You see there's the list of what it won't actually bring across. As I say, it is a migration tool for bringing over those large chunks of data that exist in SharePoint Online. So pay attention to this, making sure that you are not talking to your customer about in bringing these over, because that's not part of that MigrationWiz suite. So we can drop that one back up there. And also the group permissions, you can see by reading this, it doesn't create the groups in the destination. If you want it to do the mapping of the groups that it has there with the same names, then obviously you will need to create those in the target before you kick off the migration. So this is important note to have around those group permissions. Okay, coming back in there, that we can see we've completed verification. Everything looks all good, so we can carry on with the actual migration itself. Now, there's two options when we do this. We can either do a pre-stage or the full migration. So let me show what either of those options look like. So firstly, if I go and click on the left-hand side here and we say start, the real difference is on the pre-stage is we get to copy all the data, obviously, and we look down the bottom here. You can specify anything that is earlier than a particular date. So you can say 30 days, 60 days ago. So it's a really good option to pre-stage the migration and really not have everything completely fully migrated. But it means that when you do the full migration and the final cutover, you're only going to be having to copy the last 30 days of information, which could be a lot quicker. So you can pre-stage it all up, say during the week or so before your migration, and then you might say, you know what, on a Friday night, we're just going to do the full migration, which we're just going to pick up that delta between the two. So it makes the actual cutover process quite a bit quicker. In some migrations, you might just choose to do a full migration straight away if you're just bringing over in one go. But the pre-stage option is really good to get everything across, and then obviously the full migration when you want to do a quick cutover later. Now you'll notice as well, if when we look at these here, you've got the option with the setup for SharePoint to do the site's creation as the first pass and then the migration data as the second. Now when we started this migration project, I went ahead and created the site in the target environment ahead of time. We don't have to do that. You can let it create through this migration process. Now, why you would do it ahead of time, or why you create it yourself, is if you had to apply any special templates or anything that you needed in that site ahead of time. So if you wanted a particular template and a particular layout and particular things you want to do that you do in the wizard for the creation of the site that you wouldn't do once the site's been created, then you go and do that and get it done ahead of time. If you don't care about that, or you just want a basic site to be created, then the MigrationWiz tool will do that for you if you just do this setting up SharePoint here. But what we're going to do for this migration is I'm going to cancel that. We are going to do a full migration straight away. And as you can see there, it's using one of the shared document 50 gig licenses, which we would choose. And I'm going straight into this whole migrate data because the site creation has already been done. That's already there. And I'm going to be choosing all 4 of those options. I don't want to schedule it ahead of time. I could schedule it to say go at like 8 p.m. tonight or something like that. But in this example, I'm just going to hit start migration and bring all of the data over in one go. So we just hit start. That will change. If I go down again, it will change to the submitted again, and that will start moving data across pretty soon. So we'll just leave this one alone for a bit. Let's let it do what it needs to do. We'll come back when it says it's done. We'll look at what it's copied over, and then we'll go and have a look at the source and target and just do a quick comparison on those two as well. Coming to that a little bit later on, you can see that it's now copied 5.56 gig. It's completed everything, and obviously the full migration is done. If we look at the site details itself, you can see there's the extent of what it's done. You've got a complete log of all the directories and everything that's in there. So that is certainly good. Let's just jump back to the target now, and we'll have a look at it. If I actually do another refresh on there, we should see these items. There we go. So if we look at the active clients, you can see it's actually got data in there, which is exactly what we were expecting. So we have a look back to the main admin center here, and we do a refresh here as well. If I just do a enter on that, we should see a storage count gone up. And there you go. So the reason it's only showing as 0.46 now is the backend is still counting it. So you're not going to expect to see like the 5.56 immediately. Just keep refreshing that. It lets you get indexed, and it comes through to this front page. So don't be alarmed if you see a much lower figure here than what you saw if we go back to our source side here of the 5.56. The MigrationWiz console is telling us we've done 5.56 worth of data, which is correct. It just takes a little bit longer for this front screen to be able to catch up with that information. If I do this, it may change again, but essentially we do have to wait around for a few hours while it catches that up. So you can see how easy that is really to use the MigrationWiz tool to copy over that site data from the libraries from one tenant to another. So thank you for watching, and like always, we'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much.